good evening, everyone. This is Dr. Slay, and I want to lead you through a video about our Padlet use and our discussions that we will have for the rest of the course. Now that most of you are making your way through the digital literacy modules, I think many of you will start to turn your attention to the course readings and the Padlet discussion. So let me give you a little bit of an overview of what is going to happen with these. First of all, you should be looking at my screen, which says Module 1, Padlet Discussions. Remember, you will see this in each of the modules. This is Module 1, so I'm going to scroll up really quickly to where it shows you Module 1. You can find that in this table of contents here on the left. And this is the, oh gosh, here we go. You've been working on the digital literacy. Here's the Module 1 reading, and then here's the section on the discussions. So the discussions, if you continue to scroll, here's the overview of everything for the module. There's the digital literacy, and here's the reading section. Now we're moving into the Padlets for this particular for you guys, the group, and the various links that you will have to be able to access these Padlets. One of the reasons I want to tell you is that I choose Padlet. I've actually really grown really fond of Padlet. Why? It's a really engaging and effective way to do social media. We can have really cool conversations just using our phone, or if you're the type that sits down to your computer, or if maybe you use a tablet, you can access these Padlets almost anywhere. I love it because it sends the discussion straight to email, and I can answer you from email. So it allows me to be a little bit more effective and more efficient. I can read it almost as quickly because I'm on the computer a lot. As soon as they pop up, I try to respond to them. We experienced that in the introductions, and I'm going to show you something really cool once we get into it. So let me back up just a second because I tend to jump a little bit. I'm so sorry. These Padlets are set up by content area. So these are the content areas that are represented by the students in this class. We have a math group, a history, social studies group, and with an additional PE person in there because there's content that can overlap. Language arts and reading at different levels, your music group, and then your agriculture and life sciences are put together. Although those are different kinds of sciences, it does fall under the area of science. So I'm hoping that these groups will find themselves compatible. If not, please let me know so I can help make this work for all of you. So each one of you can either choose to use your phone. You can go to your phone and you can use the QR code to be able to access it and do all that you like to do if you're really good with and handy with your thumbs. I personally like using my fingers on a keyboard because I'm old, or shall I say older than you, or many of you. Or you can just go to the link here. So you can use the QR code or you can go here. I recommend that you bookmark the Padlet that your group has been assigned. Why? Because you're going to be using the same Padlet throughout the course. This is a selection. I have a lot of Padlets because I've used it for many different things. But you will notice here that the ones that have this candy image behind it are the group Padlets that I just showed you. So let's say I go I go to social studies. And you can see that some people have already started, which is great. Some of you have figured this out. You will see that I always have the instructions on the left-hand side in one color, and then I'll be adding the modules as we go through them. So the next section I will add is going to say Module 2, etc., as I continue to add. And then I'll give you some instructions, usually in a color so that they stand out. And I try to highlight your prompts and such. Usually I'll embed some some content like videos or readings in addition to what's in our textbook to help facilitate and get that discussion going. So you have a few tasks here. And then it's your opportunity to respond and see Jude has already responded and he's put his name in his module. that he's responding to, which is perfect, because once we get to module 2 in February, you're going to see a new set of instructions here, and then he will add his name and it'll say module 2. Although it sounds a little redundant if you choose to put a keyword instead of module 2, I'm totally okay with that. This is the section where I had hoped everyone would be able to sign up that's in your group. So this group is going to be small. I suppose I could put the group members here, but I think in a way you're already doing that. So you've got Jude and Hunter. And let's go back here to this module, because if for some reason you forgot in D2L who's who, you can go back up into the course home. And you can look under, there's a section called Discussion and CPP Groups. And although I put it in the announcements, it's also here. So you can see that was history, I think it was. There we have Jude and Hunter. So Nicholas and Maylee. And I think Maylee, I have misspelled your name. Now that I've seen it in writing, I need to take that Y off. I apologize for that. Let's see if I can fix that right now. Maylee. Oh, I must be getting my Haley's and Maylee's mixed up. Excuse me. So at any rate, there's 2 more people that still need to post which discussions they're planning on working on. So they'll add here. So let's see, it's Jude says he's going to do 6D and 2A. Hunter's going to do 1D and 2B. There are no more than 4 people in a group. So that means each person, if it's a 4-person group, each person's going to take 2 discussions. If it is a 3-person group, somebody's going to get a little extra. You'll have to decide how you want to do it. There is 1-2 group, and that's just, I think, the way things fell out. So you guys will split it in half evenly to facilitate the discussions. Once our digital literacy modules are closed, I hope that we will get really busy with our discussion, because your job will be to finish up the reading and start posting to this discussion board. You may start anytime. Some of you choose to read first and do digital literacy afterwards. I'm okay with it, but digital literacy is due at the end of this week, because start from Friday, I think, until Monday, you need to wrap up this discussion piece. So that'll take care of module 1. And I'll start to facilitate and respond to some of the discussions. It'll usually, facilitating means that you are making sure that everyone is responding, and everyone is just those 3 or 4 people or other partner that you have in your group. So you're not keeping up with the whole class, just a small group of people. And I hope you guys will find yourselves getting closer throughout the semester through the work that we're doing, and creating, when I say closer, a small community. And that's why I love the Padlet, because it really allows us to be that virtual community in some form of a synchronous time that's easier, even though we're working asynchronously, because we've all learned how to multitask in today's digital world. And I like the fact that it goes straight to our cell phones, because so many of us depend on our cell phones for everything, whereas D2L it says you have something to go look at, and then you have to go look at it. So there's an added layer that's kind of like a barrier. So I hope you like this. I'm going to ask you to let me know what you think. So you'll post your thoughts here. Something else that I want you to remember is that you should see up here, you've got my picture up there. You should see your picture when you're in your Padlet, so that every time that you respond, you can see Jude and Hunter, you can see their images and their names pop up. You don't have to add your name. Because of the way I see there, Hunter wrote, he commented. So it's when you're posting a comment to something that you add this, that it'll show your name and you don't have to identify yourself. This is best practice in these digital platforms. You do not want anonymous people in our community, because that's just impolite. We want to own our comments and our thinking, and you would want your students to do the same thing. So here he identified himself as the author of this major post, and I want to show you something cool. I'm not sure if you can see it because you're not the owner of the Padlet, but here, this is what I can do. I see that there's an arrow. So when I click on the arrow, it allows me to present our Padlets in the way that I set it up, like a slideshow. So here's the title of it. And then I can go here and I can show the instruction page because that was the first one. And it gives you this first bullet that I put in, the second one, etc. Now we're down to module 1. Now notice it didn't show the comments. It just shows the key pieces of information that you put in those posts. So here's the first set of instructions, the second set of instructions with the video, the third with the video. And that's not mine. That would have been Dr. Ravel's because that's her picture. And I think what's going to happen is I'm going to replace her Padlet image with my Padlet image because these are my instructions instead of hers. I'd forgotten that was there. My apologies. And then the prompt to respond. And then here's the first response that we had, and that was Jude. He likes to get things done early. So yay, Jude, thanks for leading the way. And then Hunter has followed suit. And then next would be module 2 in this case, because no one has yet responded. So that's just one example of a Padlet and how it's going to work. As the other 2 members of this group respond, theirs will show up as well. But what I do hope is that you will then start to interact with each other. I want you to talk to each other in these Padlets, add your comments to what the others are saying, and that's what the facilitator will do. They'll add feedback, they'll draw out the other participants, they'll add additional knowledge because we will be reading the material and we should know the content of that area that we've elected to be able to talk about. Because you're the leader. You are the leader of that particular discussion. So think about it if you were in a face-to-face room where you're talking to each other. What else? What did I want to say? I'd like you to take this really seriously and personally and passionately. I know that you are not wanting to be reading teachers, but you are your content area teachers. So how does literacy inform and support your work as a content area teacher? Because that's what this course is all about. So this is the information about the Padlet. I hope this has explained its purpose, its goals, how it works, what it should look like, and how you can interact. Thank you very much for I was going to look for it for looking at, that's my other class right now, at least the first class that I've got one more to prepare to start in a week. There's all of your discussions that had to do with your introductions. And notice I can do the same thing. This was really cool because I can meet all of you in nice form. And this really helped me to get to know who our class is. And there we have it. See, Melly, I'm so sorry I misspelled your name. You wrote it. There's Judo and Diana, and there's Hunter, messed up his name too, and I apologize for that. But this is a really cool way to keep our community alive because that's what's important, etc. You guys have some fascinating lives. This is great. And then it goes on to the next tabs that I've set up. So thank you so much for participating, and I look forward to our discussions. I'll be posting other prompts and other videos about some of the other elements. I think I'm going to talk about the CPP in the next video that I'm about to make for you guys. Have a great week, and I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.